Welcome back. Well, I got something exciting at last to show you. It was a bit of a bravery on my behalf here because I didn't think I could take this on because I don't know enough about the subject. But I thought, wouldn't it be great to be able to run ChatGPT on your home computer? And I tried another AI model, and it wouldn't run. Some of these models are very, very big. Actually, it was a 16 billion parameter model, and it wouldn't work. And I tried a 1.3 billion parameter model. That's the number of weights, by the way, and it wouldn't work either. So then I went and moved to these people at the Mohammed Hosseini University, who have, and it's not new or anything. I think it's a couple of years old. I've got this on GitHub, which is Mini GPT-4. And again, I thought, well, my computer's probably not going to handle this. And I had an awful lot of trouble transporting it into PyCharm. A lot of these people work in Linux and use other environments, and I was trying to get mine to work in PyCharm. But eventually, after a long period of fiddling around, I managed to clone it and get it to run. And then it wouldn't run because it was too big. Initially, it started to run, and then it gave me nonsense answers. And the reason for that was because I hadn't stitched together the what's called the shards. Now, the shards are the parts of the model that you download from Hugging Face. And the reason they do that is instead of having one massive file, they split it into sections for practicality, and then you stitch them together again at the other end. So I had to stitch them together. I mean, I didn't know anything about any of that. And then you've got to point it to the right path and so on, and right so that it knows where to look for it. And there's a whole load of things you have to do that I'd missed out. Anyway, it still wouldn't work. So I ended up going to a 4-bit version. What that means is, it doesn't mean that all your numbers are 4 bits. It just means that the model is 4 bits. And that significantly reduces the overhead. And I would thought it was going to be nonsense, with 4 bits. I thought that's never going to work. But I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Anyway, if you want to download their one, this is where it is, Mini GPT-4. I see I had difficulty with it. That says Mini GPT-5, but never mind. And these are the authors, and they did a great job. So they would have got the model as well, I think, not just implemented it. And there's a bit about that, and they've got papers here you can read. Instruction Paradigm for Fine-Tuning Mini GPT-4 by Lai Wei, Zihao Jiang, Werwan Huang, and Li Chao Sun. Then there's a whole, you can read them. Just Google Mini GPT-4 GitHub and you'll find this repository. So let's see how it performs. Is it going to be any good, and how it works? Let's get out of that. So I go to PyCharm, and this, as I say, took you no idea how long this took to get going. It was you put in one library, it doesn't work. It's got and then you have to uninstall it, put another one in, and then it doesn't work with your graphics processor, and it just goes on and uninstalling and reinstalling libraries. But I'm using Bits and Bytes here, which is a library that does handles the 4-bit numbers. I'm going to run the program, and it doesn't take long to run, you'll see. So what it's running is a server on your local computer. These are just warnings, so don't worry about those. And it's loading the checkpoint shards. You should check your checkpoint shards, by the way, if you haven't. It's very important. And basically that means everything's been stitched together properly. It's a path to it. Otherwise it doesn't run. So what it can do is run on your local PC on this web address, or it will run online. So anybody could run it on here, for example. I haven't really given that a good test yet. That's going to be a bit slower. But anybody could run it. no point in copying that address, by the way, because it changes every time I run it. So it's a different, it's a sort of random address. But this one is my local one. If I run that, then this will come up. Now, this isn't the same one as in the exactly the same screen as in the Git. This is being changed a lot. We changed me in the ChatGPT 03, ChatGPT 4, ChatGPT 1. Just about every ChatGPT you could ever imagine has worked on this to get it to work on my PC. So we'll maybe talk about these later, what these parameters are, but I've got some. These are things that you don't normally see in large language models when you're a user, because that will be adjusted, whoever's running the thing, Microsoft or whoever's running the models, Open AI. So you don't get access to that. Basically, if I move the beam search thing, I get kind of better answers, but it takes longer. So as an engineer, what I'm really interested in, get on with it, as you're probably saying there, is getting things running as near time as possible, and as a compromise between super accuracy and something that actually works. Well, I can tell you it's not that good at maths for a start, but it's very good at English and languages, and it can translate and do all sorts of things. And it took me a while to get the images to work. That didn't work either. That was another thing that took ages. So let's just show you it. I'm just going to say hello and see what it says. It's got no text to speech or anything. Hello, can I assist you today? It says. What am I going to do? Who are you? You see how fast it is, and this is although this is running on my graphics processor, it's not consuming a huge amount of memory, and I can actually run it on my. It shouldn't really run because I'm running from CUDA, which is the library that the NVIDIA people provide. The libraries are in CUDA ones, but they seem to work on the normal processor as well, which they shouldn't really, but they seem to. So I can kind of run it on either, and I'm not really sure why. It doesn't make a huge amount of difference in the speed when I'm down at this level anyway. So my name is Vicuna, so it's the Vicuna model I'm using. I'm a language model developed by a large model systems organization, LMSYS. Give me some scientific papers written on your development. So I'll ask it for some scientific references. Now that's taking it a lot longer than your normal thing, but there it is. So they're not, I mean, these are enough to actually get the references. Look, there's one there, Vicuna, a novel language model for natural language processing by R. Patel, 2020. So this is a few years old, as I say this, but it's still very impressive stuff. So I can ask it, tell me about Auckland, New Zealand. So it's taking, there's a time on the, over here, about 10 seconds. Auckland's the largest city in New Zealand, and so on and so forth. So I can, it's not bad at history. Tell me in detail about the Battle of Hastings, including dates. Who was involved. So when the zombie apocalypse comes, we'll still have something if we've got PCs and power. So this is not running, and you might be thinking, oh, he's running it off just a URL, and he's running it off, some server somewhere. But no, I'm not. This is running locally on the PC. Okay, so there's some information on the Battle of Hastings. And you can get a lot more information out of it if you like. And that's related to the number of tokens. I've got that set to 50,000, which is enormous. And that, so it will remember as well the history. It didn't initially, but it'll remember from what I said before in a conversation, so I can build on it. I don't think I'll do much maths at the moment. I'll do something a little bit more interesting. Let us load an image up. So this one is a cat. And I'm just going to ask it, describe in detail this image. That's 11 seconds, 12 seconds. It's 12 seconds it took. It's a cat, striking appearance, pure white fur. Well, I'm not sure it's quite got that right. It's ginger. White markings. Well, it's tiny white markings. Green eyes, I got that right. Ears are pointy. Well, all cats are pointy. Well, it doesn't actually see the tail. Soft and fluffy. Anyway, that's not bad. Not bad, really. Let's have another cat of a different kind. Let's see what it makes of this. "12 seconds. Oh, 12 seconds again. Majestic black and white lion lying on a rock, basking in the warm sunlight." So it's very good with words, and because that's what it's really all about. It's about language. Okay, I'm just going to do a few more images because this is where it gets interesting. Let's do this. What I'm going to do here is tell me how I could cook this food from scratch. See what it makes of that. What it is, I'm not sure. It's sort of pizza thing, isn't it, with an egg and meat on top of it and broccoli, I think. "12 seconds so far, 13. I'm just looking down here at the clock. If it's normal conversation, it doesn't take very long. But when you've got images, it's now this is running a thing called Gradio that's just the graphics, all the AI people. Oh, here we go. So here's the recipe. That was about, what was that, 15 seconds or something? To make pizza from scratch: pizza dough, tomato sauce, shredded cheese, broccoli, florets, mixing. So it got there. I didn't tell it this. I got it from here. We begin by preparing the dough according to your recipe. I could ask it how to make dough, but it tells you here anyway. Salt and so on and so forth. Remove the pizza from the oven. Okay, so that's another one. Let's try. I'm going to try. What have I done so far? Yeah, so this is it's not a skin disease as such. It's basically just hives on somebody, so nothing that serious. Tell me what is wrong with the skin in this picture. Up to 6 seconds, 7 seconds, 8, 9, 10. Visible red bump on the person's lower, well, I don't know if it's the lower back. Yeah, it does actually look like the lower back. Maybe it's the back, I don't know. I thought it was the arm. But anyway, this bump could be a cyst or abscess, not really, no. Inflammation. Yeah, so it's not such a good doctor there because, again, it's probably not been trained on millions of disease things, but it could be very easily. So there's been lots of AI type things, neural net, pattern matching type programs in the past, people doing diseases and things, and they train them on a huge libraries of things. But the beauty of this is it's a general purpose, and it kind of does everything, and that's just one of many things. But because it's not a massive model, it's not going to know everything. We'll try it. It doesn't work on the camera, not at the moment anyway. I might put that in, and then it will get a bit interesting. See what it makes of that. Because this picture isn't kind of normal, is it? Rubber ducky with the graduation. I think that's a doctoral robes. $13, 14 seconds. Yellow rubber duck wearing graduation cap and gown. Blue and yellow colours. Decorative elements for a graduation party. Yeah, okay, whatever. One more. Oh, that's the wrong picture. Done the same one again. Ah, this is the one. Let's submit that. I think this is a road in Canada somewhere. I doubt it'll guess where it is. Straight road with yellow line, so on. It's just talking about the yellow line. That it's more interested in the yellow line than anything else. I wonder where in the world might this picture? I mean, it could be anywhere, of course. I mean, I wouldn't know where it would be taken, but it is. I think it's in Canada, the USA. Probably USA actually. So 5. It's generally taking on that level anyway. About 12 seconds. Different, obviously. It's captured somewhere where traffic rules and regulations are enforced. Yeah, I would hope that would be everywhere. Yeah, anywhere in the world. Safety in mind. Right, so now we've done that. What is beam search? Well, let's just ask it. What is beam search? Well, not just beam search. Temperature. And top P. Oh, spelled it wrong. It shouldn't matter, but it's not so good as some models where you've got, it'll understand spelling mistakes because it's a smaller model. As regards large language models. So these are the settings I've got down here on the AI, the LLM AI, LLM large language models. Oh, I've got a few more pictures to put in. So beam search and temperature was through hyperparameter and probabilistic models, which is correct. Like GPT-4 that controls the likelihood of selecting a particular output from a set of candidate outputs. Specifically, it sets a maximum probability, blah, blah, blah. So it gives you more diverse outputs, but it takes much longer as you increase that. And if you're happy to wait, that's okay. But I'm sort of moving towards trying to get real-time results, which are not that brilliant, but would be okay for a lot of things in everyday life, maybe in a house or in your house or something. If you had a AI controlling your house, watching it, and it doesn't have to be Einstein basically in all subjects. Top P It's a different hyperparameter that controls the number of candidates to consider during the sampling process. Top P sets a maximum number of candidate tokens that will be considered for generation or rejecting others. So if I adjust the value of P, one can control the balance between diversity and quality of generated text. Higher values of P result in more diverse outputs, but potentially decrease the overall coherence and relevance. So in the old days, when I was a research student, we would have called all these things fiddle factors, but they've got scientific names for them. I'm being a bit unfair, but you would need that. It's like if you've got your brain and you can have got setting on it, and you're going to be more wild. You have wild creative thoughts today, rather than yesterday, where maybe you'll be a bit more inward thinking. Okay, a few more pictures which I thought were interesting. Let's stick this one in space. That's a nebula. Sorry about the bangs. That's builders. So 17, 18. So it's taken a bit longer this time. 21. So the food and so on only took it a very short period. This has taken it much longer to figure out. I mean, it looks a bit like an eye, doesn't it? So you could be fooled into thinking it's an eye. 38 seconds, 39. Ah, here we go. Now you see that it's got that wrong. A man standing on a surfboard balancing himself on the waves of the ocean. That's completely wrong. So I don't know whether it's how I got that one wrong, because I tried it before and I got it right. So there you go. I haven't really changed anything. What I can do is I can restart the server in case just briefly shut it down. Control C. Oh, I don't need to, of course. No, I can do it this way. I had to run it manually for a while on the command line because the environments were all mixed up and it was a bit of a mess. This is the main program, by the way. They've got these files called YAML files. Again, if you work in this area, you'll know what a YAML file is. It stands for yet another markup language. But I don't need a YAML file. Everything's in my main program. I'm just running it like a normal program. So I just go to the link. And let us try this one. You see, it sure is good at recipes. Oh, that's perfect. Maybe we could try it again with a nebula, but there is something about LLMs that they tend to get worse, I think, the longer in a thread you run them. Something like that. That's very fast. Along there. There it is. It's got it this time. Giant helix. Parts of a nebula. So it got that right at last. Right, some other things it can do. I'm going to speaks different languages. I'm going to put in. I don't want to take it too long. I don't understand Hebrew, but this is Hebrew, which I've forgotten which side you copy it from, because let's just use that. So I've copied some Hebrew, and this is Hebrew with vowels, I think. Yes, my friend told me. What will I do? Translate. to English. Let's see if it works. That might take it a while. Oh, there we go. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. This is actually from Genesis in the Bible. And it's pretty much perfect. I wonder if it can translate that last text into French. Or should it be response? Yeah, so it's done a tiny bit. In the debut, in the beginning, yeah, God created the sky and I think it's the sky and the earth. The earth was without form or function. It's obscured. I'm not sure what the rest of it is. A very limited range of French. What's this? Oh yes, this one more thing, which it can't do. It. Even the latest one, I've got other videos, aren't so good at electronics. Of course, if I say in detail, of course I can always increase the beam search, but I don't want the video to go on forever. I don't want to be waiting here for 5 minutes. The circuit diagram, well, at least it's got that right. The resistors connected in series, well, not sure what maybe these are, kind of. So it's a very generic. And maybe I could ask it, what are the, what components other than resistors might give me false answers. Resistors. Yeah, so it doesn't recognize an op amp at all. Perhaps something that would be better at. Write me a poem about a friend of mine is from here, English city of, I've forgotten how you spell, I think that's how you spell it, English city of Leicester. Say 4 verses. It usually excels at the language part because, I mean, as many people have pointed out, it's not really designed to do maths. And here we go. So in the heart of England lies a city rich in history, where the Roman road once ran and the castle stood tall. Through the ages, Leicester has weathered many a storm, but its people have always held fast to their warmth. It's not a rhyming poem, but poems don't have to rhyme. It's rich in culture and tradition and so on. For Leicester shines. Okay, guys, so what do we use it for? Well, you know what we use ChatGPT for, but this one is running locally, and as I say, I'm pretty sure it's running. It also runs just almost as quickly for this a number of beams anyway. That's the beams here on your normal processor, which it shouldn't really, but it seems to be quite forgiving, that version of bits and bytes or whatever it is, and doesn't need the graphics processor all the time. But you can specify which processor to run. And if you're one of these people that have got huge gaming machines with 32 gig of memory or something, it would be, go like the clappers. But the idea is really not to have that, but because that's going to be very expensive. We're trying to get them to work on small machines. Ultimately you'd want it on a micro, but I don't think this is going to cut with a micro. Maybe a DSP processor if it had, external memory. I don't know exactly how you do it, but this might in the future have something. Well, I mean, they must be doing it anyway because I can see robots are running around. They can see things. And it's the beauty of this. It's bringing all the technologies which things like image processing in the past, which was a discipline of signal processing, two-dimensional signal processing, which is my area, is kind of gone now because AI does everything for you. Okay, that's all, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you want to have a go downloading it, by all means do. It's downloading their one, that is. I haven't put my version on GitHub. I might do that at some point now that I've got it sort of tidied up a little bit. It's very stressful doing this stuff because it was very new to me, and it took quite a number. It took me at least 3 days, I think, to get this thing running. But if I didn't have the help of AI, it might have taken me a year. I don't know. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye-bye.